as you listen. This is a true story, but some names have been changed. Anzac Day. On the 25th of April 2019, I walked up Swanston Street in a grey coat that matched the subdued skies. It had just gone 8 a.m, but already the pubs were teeming. Uniformed men clutching pints of beer spilt onto the footpath. Along the street, the usual herd of trams was replaced by Navy cadets marching in formation, pimpled and raw in their starched white uniforms. Anzac Day was here again. I'd been up since 4 a.m. when my alarm shrieked through the pitch black. Barely awake, I'd leapt into the shower, inhaled toast, and thrown myself into the Uber waiting downstairs. The morning was frigid, and the driver kept the heat on high as she sped through deserted streets. I was going to my first dawn service, not to stand in sombre silence with the other pilgrims, but to provide commentary from the ABC radio booth set up next to the Shrine of Remembrance. The ABC needed a historian to join the regular morning host, and my media-savvy but overcommitted colleague Claire had passed on the gig. I'd done radio before, but nothing of this magnitude. Originally a day of military commemoration, Anzac Day has become a de facto birthday for Australia. According to popular mythology, April 25th marked the birth of the nation on the Gallipoli Peninsula in 1915. It is a public holiday that arouses strong emotions, that has cultural warriors at loggerheads each year, and I'd been called upon to provide analysis for the national broadcaster. To put it mildly, I was shitting myself. The broadcast passed in a blur, nearly 3 hours flying by as the host and I interviewed guests, talked history and passed commentary on the official proceedings. As I dispensed historical factoids about black diggers and the Treaty of Versailles, the sky slowly lightened, fading from black to charcoal to oyster grey. All of a sudden, it was over. I had made it, without going blank live on air or otherwise humiliating myself. Job done. It was 7:30 a.m, and my work was over for the day. I was ejected from the makeshift studio into the dewy botanic gardens, body flooded with adrenaline and relief. What now? Caffeine pulsed through my veins from the soy latte I'd downed on air. It was a public holiday, my time was my own, but I was too wired to go home and rest. Looking for purpose, I drifted back towards the city, trailing the veterans and families who'd attended the service back up St Kilda Road. The air reeked of grilled meat and reverberated with military drums, the usual commuter frenzy of a weekday morning replaced by a strange cocktail of carnival and mourning, sausage sizzles and death, pomp and ceremony. As I weaved through the crowds assembling along Swanston Street, my mind replayed the radio broadcast. Like most historians, I had serious misgivings about Anzac Day's jingoism, but was pleased to have the opportunity to inject some honest history into the conversation. My performance wasn't perfect, but I'd made the key points from my notes. I'd even enjoyed bantering with the impish bald host, whose eyes shone with curiosity as we discussed World War I. Once again, the white-knuckle ride of live radio had lit up all my pleasure centres. Already I was hungry for more, looking for the next hit. But something niggled. On air, they'd called me Anne, my legal name and the moniker I'd embraced without question for 30 years. Yet that wasn't my name anymore. Unbeknownst to almost everyone, I'd recently acquired a new identity, a new gender, even a new name. Few people knew the truth. I'd told my immediate family and a handful of close friends. But out in the world, I continued to perform the identity on my birth certificate. At work, at the dentist, at my yoga studio, on my electricity bills, and now, today, on radio, I remained Anne, a lady.